Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, why do I suddenly look older than I did just a couple of years ago? Maybe your energy isn't what it used to be. Your joints feel stiffer, recovery takes longer, the weight around your waist seems impossible to lose. Your memory isn't quite as sharp, and even after a full night's sleep, you still wake up feeling tired. Many people assume this is simply what happens after turning 60, but what if that isn't entirely true? What if your chronological age isn't the biggest factor determining how old your body behaves? Here's what's really going on inside your body. Modern science is teaching us something remarkable. Aging isn't just about the number of birthdays you've celebrated. It's also about your biological age, how healthy, resilient, and functional your cells, organs, and metabolic systems actually are. In fact, researchers have found that aging often speeds up in noticeable waves, rather than as one slow, steady process. Around our 40s, and again around our 60s, important biological systems, including metabolism, immune function, blood vessels, and hormone regulation, undergo major shifts. Lifestyle choices become even more powerful during these years, because they can either accelerate those changes or help slow them down. That's both the challenge and the opportunity. Because while we cannot stop the passage of time, we can influence how our bodies respond to it. And here's the surprising part. Many of the habits that quietly speed up aging don't seem dangerous at all. Skipping breakfast, sitting for long periods, sleeping at inconsistent times, eating healthy foods but at the wrong times, living under constant low-grade stress. Individually, these habits may seem harmless, but together, day after day, year after year, they slowly disrupt the systems that keep us young. They increase insulin resistance. They elevate cortisol. They promote chronic inflammation. They reduce muscle-building hormones. They impair mitochondrial function, the tiny energy factories inside every cell. And when those systems begin to fail, the body starts aging faster from the inside out. That means wrinkles are only the surface. Underneath, the liver becomes less efficient. Muscles shrink more rapidly. Bones weaken. Blood vessels become stiffer. The brain receives less efficient energy. The immune system becomes less responsive. And fat begins accumulating in places it shouldn't. The good news? Most of these changes are not permanent. Your body is incredibly adaptable, even after 60. Every meal you eat sends information to your metabolism. Every night of quality sleep allows hormones to repair damaged tissues. Every walk after dinner improves insulin sensitivity. Every resistance workout tells your muscles, stay strong. Every healthy habit becomes a biological signal, telling your body to repair instead of decline. Throughout this video, I'm going to reveal 5 common daily habits that may be aging your body much faster than necessary after age 60, and more importantly, exactly what you can do instead. We'll explore what's happening inside your cells, why these habits become more harmful as we age, and the simple, science-backed strategies that can help protect your metabolism, preserve muscle, improve energy, and support healthy longevity. Think of today's video as a whiteboard session. I'll explain each concept step by step, using simple analogies so that by the end, you'll not only know what to change, but why it works. And if you're serious about staying active, independent, and healthy for decades to come, you're in exactly the right place. If this video brings you value, consider subscribing. Every day, I share practical, science-based strategies designed to help you take control of your health naturally, one simple habit at a time. Let's begin by looking at the 5 habits that silently speed up aging and the biology behind each one. Have you ever finished the day feeling exhausted, even though you barely moved? That may sound contradictory, but it's actually one of the most common patterns I see in adults over 60. Many people believe that if they go for a 30-minute walk every morning, they've checked the exercise box for the day. And while that walk is absolutely beneficial, it doesn't erase the effects of sitting for the next 10 or 12 hours. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your muscles are far more than engines that help you move. They're one of the body's largest metabolic organs. Every time your muscles contract, even during something as simple as standing up, climbing a few stairs, or walking across the room, they pull glucose out of your bloodstream without needing as much insulin. They improve circulation, stimulate the release of beneficial signaling molecules called myokines, and tell your body, stay strong, stay adaptable. Now imagine those muscles staying almost completely inactive for hours at a time. It's like owning a high-performance car, but leaving it parked in the garage month after month. The engine doesn't become stronger by sitting still. In fact, it slowly begins to deteriorate. Your muscles behave the same way. After the age of 60, this becomes especially important because the body naturally loses muscle mass through a process called sarcopenia. On average, adults lose muscle more rapidly with each passing decade if they don't actively challenge it. Less muscle means fewer places to store glucose, which increases insulin resistance. It also lowers your resting metabolic rate, making it easier to gain fat, even if you're eating the same foods you always have. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Picture your muscles as thousands of tiny warehouses designed to store fuel. When the warehouses are large and active, glucose is stored efficiently, blood sugar remains stable, and your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard producing insulin. But when those warehouses shrink because they're rarely used, glucose has nowhere to go. Blood sugar stays elevated longer, insulin levels rise, and excess energy is more likely to be stored as fat around the abdomen and even inside the liver. This is one reason why two people can eat nearly identical diets but experience very different metabolic health. One has active muscle tissue that's constantly using energy. The other spends most of the day sitting, allowing those muscles to become less responsive over time. What the research shows is that prolonged sedentary behavior is associated with higher risks of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, frailty, and premature mortality, even among people who meet the minimum exercise recommendations. Breaking up long periods of sitting with short movement breaks can significantly improve blood sugar regulation and circulation throughout the day. And there's another important reason movement matters. Every time your muscles contract, they release powerful proteins called myokines. Think of these as text messages sent from your muscles to the rest of your body. These messages help reduce inflammation. They support brain health. They improve communication between muscles and the immune system. They encourage healthier metabolism. In many ways, your muscles function like an endocrine organ, producing signals that benefit your entire body, not just your arms and legs. Now, here's where many people become discouraged. They hear this information and assume they need to spend 2 hours a day in the gym. Not at all. In fact, consistency is often more important than intensity. Your body responds to frequent reminders that movement is part of daily life. That means standing while taking a phone call, walking for 5 to 10 minutes after each meal, parking a little farther away from the entrance, using the stairs when it's safe, getting up every 30 to 45 minutes to stretch, march in place, or walk around the house. These small movement snacks may seem insignificant, but over the course of a day, they repeatedly activate your muscles, improve circulation, and help regulate blood sugar. Resistance training is equally important. You don't need expensive equipment. Simple bodyweight exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, step-ups, resistance bands, or light dumbbells performed 2 to 3 times per week can send a powerful message to your muscles. You're still needed. To support muscle repair, aim to include high-quality protein with every meal. Many experts recommend spreading protein intake throughout the day, rather than consuming most of it at dinner. Foods such as eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, beans, lentils, and cottage cheese provide the amino acids your muscles need to rebuild after activity. Pairing protein with resistance exercise creates one of the strongest natural signals for preserving muscle as we age. Vitamin D also plays an important role in muscle function and bone health, and many older adults have low levels without realizing it. If you're considering supplementation, it's a good idea to discuss testing your vitamin D status with your healthcare provider, so your intake can be tailored to your individual needs. One habit I often recommend is the 10-3 rule. Every hour, aim for at least 3 minutes of movement. Stand up, stretch, walk around your home. Do a few gentle calf raises while holding onto a countertop. These brief activity breaks keep your metabolism engaged throughout the day instead of allowing it to remain idle for hours. Remember, your body doesn't recognize exercise and non-exercise the way we do. It recognizes movement. Every step is a signal. Every muscle contraction is information. Every time you move, you're telling your cells to become stronger instead of weaker, more insulin sensitive instead of resistant, and more resilient instead of fragile. That's how healthy aging happens, not through one perfect workout, but through hundreds of small biological signals repeated every single day. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every day, I share practical, science-based strategies to help you improve your metabolism, preserve your health, and age with strength, not just survive the passing years. Have you ever been told that eating every 2 or 3 hours is the secret to keeping your metabolism fast? For years, that advice was repeated almost everywhere. People were encouraged to snack constantly to keep the metabolic fire burning. But when we look at what modern metabolic research tells us, especially for adults over the age of 60, the picture is much more nuanced. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every time you eat, whether it's a full meal, a handful of crackers, or even a sugary drink, your body receives a signal that nutrients have arrived. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin is not a bad hormone. In fact, it's absolutely essential for life. Its job is to move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells, where it can be used for energy or stored for later. The problem isn't insulin itself. The problem is when insulin remains elevated for most of the day because we're constantly eating. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a house with 2 crews working inside. The first crew is the construction team. Their job is to store nutrients, build tissues, and put energy away for later. Insulin is the manager of this crew. The second crew is the maintenance team. Their job is to clean out damaged proteins, recycle worn-out cell parts, repair DNA, and prepare the body for another healthy day. Here's the catch. Both crews can't work efficiently at the same time. If the construction crew is constantly being called in because you're eating from morning until late at night, the maintenance crew rarely gets the opportunity to do its job. This is one reason why giving your body regular breaks from eating can be so valuable. During periods without food, insulin naturally falls. As insulin declines, your body gradually shifts from storing energy to using stored energy. This metabolic transition encourages greater fat utilization and allows important cellular housekeeping processes to become more active. One of those processes is called autophagy. Think of autophagy as your body's recycling department. Inside every cell, proteins become damaged, mitochondria wear out, and tiny bits of cellular debris accumulate over time. Rather than allowing this material to build up, your body can break it down into reusable building blocks. That doesn't mean fasting is a miracle cure, nor does it mean autophagy suddenly switches on after a specific number of hours. It's a dynamic process that's influenced by nutrient availability, physical activity, sleep, and overall metabolic health. But research suggests that periods without food can support the body's natural repair mechanisms. Now let's talk about one habit that deserves special attention after age 60, late-night eating. Your metabolism follows a circadian rhythm. Just as the sun rises and sets on a schedule, many of your hormones do too. Earlier in the day, your body is generally better prepared to process carbohydrates and maintain healthy blood sugar levels. As evening approaches, insulin sensitivity naturally declines in many people. That means the same meal eaten at 7 p.m. may produce a different metabolic response than if it had been eaten at noon. Late-night eating also affects more than blood sugar. Digesting a large meal close to bedtime can interfere with sleep quality, increase acid reflux in some individuals, and reduce the overnight period during which your body performs many of its repair processes. What the research shows is that aligning food intake with your body's natural biological clock, often called time-restricted eating or early time-restricted feeding, may improve insulin sensitivity, blood pressure, metabolic flexibility, and other markers of health in many adults, even without dramatic calorie restriction. That doesn't mean everyone needs to follow the exact same eating schedule. Individual medical conditions, medications, and nutritional needs matter. For example, people taking insulin or certain diabetes medications should always discuss fasting strategies with their healthcare provider before making significant dietary changes. For many healthy adults over 60, however, a gentle overnight fasting window can be both practical and sustainable. A simple place to begin is aiming for approximately 12 hours without food overnight. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., your first meal the next morning could be around 7 a.m. As your body adapts, and if it's appropriate for your health, you may gradually extend that window to 13 or 14 hours under the guidance of your healthcare professional. Equally important is what you eat during your eating window. Instead of relying on frequent processed snacks that repeatedly spike blood sugar, build meals around whole, nutrient-dense foods. Prioritize lean protein to preserve muscle. Include colorful vegetables for fiber and antioxidants. Choose healthy fats such as extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, and avocado to support satiety and heart health. When eating carbohydrates, favor minimally processed options like beans, lentils, oats, quinoa, berries, and other high-fiber foods that produce a slower rise in blood sugar. One strategy I often recommend is the 3-question meal check. Before every meal, simply ask yourself, where's my protein? Where's my fiber? Where's my healthy fat? If all 3 are present, you're much more likely to support stable blood sugar, sustained energy, and lasting fullness. Another helpful habit is taking a 10 to 15-minute walk after dinner. This simple routine encourages your muscles to absorb glucose, helping reduce the blood sugar rise that typically follows a meal. It's one of the easiest ways to combine the benefits of movement with smarter meal timing. Remember, the goal isn't to eat less simply for the sake of eating less. The goal is to give your metabolism periods of nourishment and periods of recovery. Just as your heart needs both contraction and relaxation, your digestive system benefits from cycles of feeding and fasting. Those natural rhythms allow insulin to come down, encourage your body to use stored energy more efficiently, and support the cellular maintenance that becomes increasingly important as we grow older. Healthy aging isn't about constant deprivation. It's about creating the right biological environment so your body can repair itself as effectively as it was designed to do. When most people think about dehydration, they picture someone exercising in the heat, sweating heavily, or feeling extremely thirsty. But here's the surprising reality. Many adults over the age of 60 spend years living in a state of mild, chronic dehydration without ever realizing it. They don't necessarily feel intensely thirsty. Instead, they experience symptoms they simply blame on aging. Low energy, dry skin, frequent headaches, brain fog, constipation, joint stiffness, muscle cramps, dizziness when standing, poor exercise tolerance. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Water isn't just something that quenches thirst. It is involved in virtually every biological process that keeps you alive. Your blood is mostly water. Your cells rely on water to transport nutrients and remove waste. Your kidneys need water to filter toxins. Your brain depends on proper hydration to maintain concentration and memory. Even your joints contain fluid that acts like a natural shock absorber. Think of your body like a sophisticated city. Water is the transportation system. It carries oxygen to tissues. It delivers vitamins and minerals. It removes garbage from cells. It helps regulate temperature. It supports electrical communication between nerves. Now imagine shutting down half the roads in that city. Traffic slows. Deliveries are delayed. Waste piles up. Emergency services can't respond efficiently. The city still functions, but much less effectively. That's exactly what happens when you're chronically dehydrated. Everything still works, just not as well. And here's why dehydration becomes more common after age 60. As we age, our natural thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive. In other words, your body may already need water before your brain produces the sensation of thirst. Kidney function also changes gradually with age, making it more difficult to conserve water efficiently. Some medications, including certain blood pressure medications and diuretics, can further increase fluid loss. The result is that many older adults simply don't replace the fluids they're losing throughout the day. What the research shows is that even mild dehydration can impair attention, memory, mood, and physical performance. It can also contribute to constipation, kidney stone formation in susceptible individuals, and increase the risk of falls due to dizziness and lower blood pressure upon standing. Let's talk about your brain for a moment. Although the brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, it uses roughly 20% of your body's energy. It is incredibly sensitive to changes in hydration. When water levels fall, blood volume decreases slightly. That means your heart has to work harder to deliver oxygen and nutrients to your brain. Many people notice this as mental fatigue. They describe it as feeling slower. Words don't come as quickly. Concentration becomes more difficult. Memory seems less reliable. Often, they assume cognitive decline has begun. Sometimes, the first step is simply drinking enough water consistently. Hydration also plays an important role in maintaining healthy circulation. Blood that becomes more concentrated places greater demand on the cardiovascular system. Proper hydration helps support normal blood flow, allowing oxygen and nutrients to reach tissues more efficiently. Now let's connect hydration back to metabolism. Every chemical reaction inside your cells, including those involved in converting food into usable energy, depends on water. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures inside your cells, perform thousands of reactions every day. Without adequate hydration, those reactions become less efficient. Think of trying to run a hydroelectric power plant with very little water flowing through it. The machinery is still there. The potential still exists, but energy production becomes less effective. The same principle applies inside your cells. So how much water should you actually drink? There isn't one perfect number for everyone. Fluid needs depend on body size, activity level, climate, medications, and certain medical conditions. A practical goal for many healthy adults is to drink water regularly throughout the day, instead of waiting until they're thirsty. One simple strategy is the anchor habit approach. Drink 1 glass of water when you wake up, before each meal, after every walk or exercise session, about an hour before bedtime, while avoiding large amounts immediately before sleep if nighttime bathroom trips are already a problem. This creates a routine instead of relying on thirst alone. You can also increase hydration through food. Many fruits and vegetables naturally contain large amounts of water. Cucumbers, tomatoes, oranges, strawberries, watermelon, celery, leafy greens. These foods provide hydration while also supplying fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support healthy aging. Electrolytes matter too. If you're sweating heavily, exercising, or recovering from illness, minerals like sodium and potassium help maintain proper fluid balance. These small improvements add up over months and years, and that's exactly how healthy aging works. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Sleep is not a passive state where your body simply shuts down. In reality, it's one of the busiest periods of the entire day. While you're sleeping, your brain organizes memories. Your immune system strengthens its defenses. Your muscles repair microscopic damage from daily activity. Hormones are carefully released in precise amounts. Your liver continues processing nutrients and detoxifying waste products. And your brain activates a remarkable cleaning system known as the glymphatic system, which helps remove metabolic waste that accumulates while you're awake. Think of your body like a large office building. During the day, hundreds of employees are working nonstop. Papers pile up, trash bins fill, equipment wears down, and small repairs are postponed because everyone is focused on getting through the workday. Then, night arrives. The cleaning crew enters. Maintenance workers repair broken equipment. The floors are cleaned. The trash is removed. Supplies are restocked. By morning, the building is ready for another productive day. Now imagine canceling that maintenance crew night after night. The building would still operate, for a while, but eventually clutter accumulates, equipment breaks, efficiency drops. The same thing happens inside your body when sleep becomes fragmented or consistently poor. One of the first systems to suffer is hormone regulation. Let's start with cortisol. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but it actually follows a healthy daily rhythm. Normally, cortisol is lowest during the early part of the night, allowing your body to focus on repair. It gradually rises toward morning to help you wake up feeling alert and energized. Poor sleep disrupts that rhythm. Instead of falling appropriately, cortisol may remain elevated overnight. Higher nighttime cortisol makes it harder to stay asleep, increases inflammation, and encourages your body to store more fat around the abdomen. Now let's look at growth hormone. Despite its name, growth hormone isn't just important for children. Adults continue producing it throughout life, especially during deep sleep. Growth hormone helps repair muscles, maintain healthy bones, support collagen production, and assist in tissue recovery. When deep sleep is shortened, the release of growth hormone decreases. Over time, recovery becomes slower. Muscle loss accelerates. Skin repair becomes less efficient. The body simply has fewer opportunities to rebuild itself. Sleep also has a profound effect on insulin sensitivity. Even a few nights of inadequate sleep can reduce how effectively your cells respond to insulin. That means your pancreas must release more insulin to accomplish the same job. So here's my challenge for you. Don't try to change all 5 habits tomorrow. Choose just one. Maybe you'll commit to standing up every 30 minutes. Maybe you'll stop eating 2 hours before bedtime. Maybe you'll drink an extra glass of water with each meal. Maybe you'll take a 20-minute walk after dinner. Or maybe tonight you'll go to bed just 30 minutes earlier than usual. One habit, one consistent change, 1 week. Then pay attention. Notice your energy. Notice your sleep. Notice your mood. Notice how your body responds. Small improvements create momentum. Momentum creates consistency. Consistency creates transformation. And transformation is rarely dramatic in a single day, but it's extraordinary over the course of months and years. Thank you for spending this time with me today and investing in your health. If this video added value to your life, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every day, I share science-based, practical strategies to help you optimize your metabolism, protect your brain, preserve your strength, and support healthy aging naturally. I'd also love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits do you think is affecting your health the most right now? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else to take that first step toward better health. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious, and remember, your age is only one number. The choices you make every day help determine how well your body lives those years.